Now, let's look at example in the case of digestion. We want to look at the digestive enzyme known as lactase. Of course, lactase is an enzyme which we digest, or it will actually break down lactose, which is like milk. If the active site of lactase, which is the enzyme, actually meets the substrate, or let's assume that the substrate in this case is the milk, whenever the substrate is found and come to bind to the active site of lactase, lactase will break it down. You see, this is an example. So lactose is the substrate and lactase is the enzyme. Look at this. The enzyme called lactase have an active site, and the lactose, which is the milk sugar, anytime milk sugar is found or milk and move to the level where it combined to the active site of lactase, a reaction is going to occur. This reaction is actually the breakdown of the lactose by the lactase. This is an example of enzyme specificity. In other words, anytime that milk combines with lactase, it is going to break down the lactose, which is the milk. But if we replace the lactase with amylase, in other words, instead of the lactase to break down the lactose, now we replace the lactase with amylase. You're going to notice that even though amylase is an enzyme, anytime lactose is found, no reaction will occur, because of course the enzyme amylase is not specific for lactose. So lactose is only specific for the enzyme lactase. So I believe you are getting the point. In the case where it is instead amylase which is found, because lactose is not specific for it to bind to amylase to cause reaction to occur, then no reaction will occur. This is enzyme specificity. But if we replace back the amylase and insert back the lactase, reaction will occur. Why? Because the lactose is specific to react only with lactase, because it's going to break it down. But if at all the amylase was found, instead of the lactose, starch was instead present, the amylase will break down the starch, because starch is specific for amylase. In other words, amylase will only break down starch, but amylase is not going to break down lactose, which is sugar. So therefore, when we talk about enzyme specificity, it means that only a specific enzyme will bind to a specific substrate for reaction to take place. If the enzyme or the substrate is not specific for the enzyme, no reaction will take place. But if reaction at all occur, then it will be very slow. Therefore, in other words, enzyme specificity simply means that a particular substrate must bind to a particular enzyme for reaction to take place.